Hello and welcome everyone to Data Integration Summit 2024. My name is Vikas Ranjan. I'm a senior manager of data intelligence and innovation team at T-Mobile. I have almost 2 decades of extensive experience in the data space, working on all aspects of data lifecycle, data management, and delivering successful business projects across various different business domains. What is a data transformation? Before we talk about what data transformation is, we are super excited today than never before on how all the different businesses wants to leverage the power of data, unlock the new business opportunities for data. We have never been more data driven businesses than ever before. And in the crux of that comes data transformation. I'm a big fan of aircrafts and flying to one place to another. So let's look at an aircraft. This aircraft is right now at a runway ready to take off. If you look at data transformation, this is more like creating a checklist of looking at the weather data, looking at the flight data, engine, and everything else to make sure we are ready. Similarly, in the space of data, data transformation is a process of cleaning, aggregating, enriching the data to make sure we are all good. We have our businesses, our CEOs, our leaders. What do they care about? They care about how do we generate the maximum revenue? How do we maximize our profits? They care about how can we have the happy customers so our stock value continues to go up and up and up. Then we have our passengers. As a passenger, when I want to go from Seattle to San Jose, I'm always looking at the cheapest flight, which gives me the best experience and which takes me to San Jose the fastest possible manner. And in the middle, we have the data team. What does data team is focus on? Data team is focused on building optimal data products. They are looking at building a solution which is efficient, which is reliable, which is cheapest, with a very single goal of keeping both the customers, in this case the passengers, and the CEO happy. That looks like a very fun job, isn't it? When we talk about a data lifecycle management, it all starts with the data sources. We have all heard about the three V's of big data: the velocity, the volume, and variety. And the word has become more and more cumbersome now. With the type of data we want to explore, with the type of data we want to process, the, whether it's a traditional databases to APIs, to the documents, to the emails, to the sensors, this has grown into a significant heaps of data, and that each of that has brought its own set of challenges. In the case of an airplane, you're looking at information about the staff, about the pilots, you're looking at the quality of the food, the type of the food, and you're looking at many more diverse data sets. You got all this data now ready. What do you want to do next with that? I look at data integration as connecting the dots. Think of this like a checklist, as we talked about earlier. How do we make sure our flight is ready for departure? Do we have all of this data in very complex data formats? We need to clean the data. We need to remove the mess from this data. We need to make this data simple, easily accessible, and usable. Then comes the challenge with data understanding or data literacy. Not everybody is an expert. For an aircraft company, there are engineers who understand the weather data, and that's all they care about. There are pilots who have to understand all the different dimensions of data. There are marketing guys, all they care about is what are the best campaigns we need to send to our customers to get them more and more fly with our airlines. There are passengers, they are looking at all the weird things on the aircraft and say, hey, can I get a best entertainment system? What does this data really means to us? Everybody has a different understanding of data based on the different use cases, different personas, and different needs. Data reliability is nothing but the quality of data. Is the data pristine? Is the data trustworthy? If I'm taking a flight and there is a high turbulence in the flight, Do I have the right wind condition and the wind speeds to make sure that I'm going to be able to land successfully through this turbulence? Because without the right data, I cannot take the right decisions. I cannot make sure that I have a pristine flight. And then we talk about data security. We have all heard about what happened with the Alaska Airlines and the Boeing debacle a few months back. If the cabin door lock is not secured or broken, am I going to take the flight again? I will doubt 100 times. Maybe I should go and look at a different airlines, or maybe I just should drive back, right? And then last but not the least, as a passenger who's looking for the cheapest flight and the fastest flight, as a data engineers, we are looking for building the most cost efficient and the fastest solutions. These challenges are not new. Over the last many decades, there has been different solution that has existed to solve part of these problems. If we go back into 1980s, we saw the emergence of databases. In fact, Oracle was started in 1975, so databases has been there for almost 50 years now, right? What databases helped us is like applying the data transformations using stored procs, applying the data transformations using functions and SQL statements. And very soon we started hitting some challenges in terms of diversity of the data. How do I process this data? How do I transform this data? And then came the likes of Informaticas and the other ETL companies in 1990s. These product companies helped us extract, transform, and load the data from various different traditional data sources until we hit a tipping point where our businesses said, hey, I want to look at unstructured data. I want to look at the sensor data to make sure I'm capturing all information from my aircraft, the health of the aircraft. And that made the birth of Hadoop, which was basically the big data platform, which helps us process, curate all the different formats of data, the structured data, the unstructured data. As we started seeing value from Hadoop, businesses now wanted to do more and more with the power of data, with the value of data to unlock the value. And then AWS actually came up in 2006, 5, and then very soon Microsoft and other cloud providers came up with other solutions and building this hybrid ecosystem and building this multi-platform microservice ecosystem to do all this data value realization in 2010s. And in between, we saw some really smart niche companies who started working on understanding the business problems and started coming up with some low code, no code data platforms and data applications and products. And last but not the least, I think the world got excited by the biggest technical evolution we have heard in the mankind in the November of 2022 with ChatGPT and large language models. In the next few slides, I'm going to talk about some of the emerging trends that are helping us shape the future of how do we derive value from data and how do we make our data complexity, data transformations, data lifecycle simple and easy. As we talked about the data transformations and complexity, it's a complicated word. A data engineer today, until recently, had to learn multiple different languages. Some people were writing their code in Java, in Scala, in Python, in Go, and many more things. We started hiring lots and lots of data engineers, and they were not skilled to learn these languages fairly quickly. And business was started getting impatient because they wanted to see the value now. They wanted to build the solutions now. With the large language models and foundational models, companies like Microsoft, GitHub Copilot, and many other companies started creating what we call as a code generators or code troubleshooting solutions. That is helping us improve our productivity, but writing our code more efficiently, writing our code more scalable, if and then in the last year, Databricks announced English as a new programming language. You asked a question in English, and it's going to generate complex data transformation, aggregations, lookups in the background to write your code. And last but not the least, some of the niche startup companies like Nextla, Professor, and others, they are now leveraging the power of Gen AI, large language models, and foundational models to create complex data transformations. As a aircraft engineer, it's For a pilot to have a successful flight, they need to look at hundreds and thousands of different data points in their cockpit to make sure everything is landing properly. So bringing this data transformation, making the data transformation complexity simpler with the large language models is helping us with our productivity, making sure we can write better code, and then makes our leadership happy by delivering our products faster than others. Data reliability is important and critical to ensure we have the best flight experience. There is a lot of innovation happening in the aircraft industry. The aircraft industry is launching new aircrafts, they're adding new features, they are bringing new capabilities to their customers, to the passengers. And the biggest challenge always we have is we have a new route. Do we have enough data to test? Do we have enough data to do all this what if scenarios? Do we have enough data to do simulation modeling? Some of the niche companies like Tonic AI, other companies, they are leveraging large language models and foundational models to create synthetic data. Gone are the days of reactive monitoring of data. Business wants to know the issues faster than before, right? We want to be more proactive, and this is where traditional machine learning models, anomaly detection, and time series models help us identify the issue as a more like an early warning system. There is something wrong on the aircraft, and I don't want to know that after 3 hours because then by that time the damage might be done. I want to identify the issue if there is a fuel level is going down. What is causing the decrease in the fuel level? That's where root cause analysis come into the picture. And then last but not the least, with this ever-changing data, with this wide variety of data, we often see data drift, schema drifts, as well as we start leveraging more on our AI models, AI accuracy becomes more critical and important. And this is where we are seeing how we can leverage AI and machine learning to actually automatically correct the data. So it's more like a self-healing data pipeline, right? This is really, really helping us, what I call as improve the case of garbage in and garbage out and make our data more reliable, more trustworthy, more useful, and better for our business decision making. Let's talk about data literacy. Not everybody understands the data the same way the other person understands the data. If you ask an engineer about a passenger, they may not understand. If you ask a passenger about a particular sensor value on the aircraft radar, they're going to be clueless. Similarly, internally with our business teams, the understanding of data has never been more critical and important than today. And this is where we are seeing some very mature companies like Calibra and others who are actually data world, who are actually leveraging Gen AI, large language models, foundational models, and in some cases actually small language models to build AI-driven data catalogs. That is helping us understand what does this data really means. That is helping us as a data engineers when we are creating new data integration pipelines and solutions. If we are pulling in 20 different data sets with thousands of rows and columns, what is the metadata? That is helping us basically build a data ontology for our data pipelines. That is helping us build a data taxonomy as a common data layer, semantic layer for everybody to understand. What does that really helps our businesses? That help us to foster collaboration, that is becoming a catalyst for data democratization, supercharge the value realization with the data collaboration, and recently with sharing the data both within internally as well as the external partners. In the word of aeroplane analogy, it's like passengers who are taking an international flight going from US to a African country on an African airlines. How can they understand and navigate the navigation system and an entertainment system to have the best experience? The next big thing where we're saying AI is really helping us become better is enhancing our data security and our data posture. The world has never been more scary than before. We see lots of bad actors in the society. There's a lot of information in the dark web. There's a lot of information that is compromised. Last thing as a passenger I want is somebody knows what is my social security, what is my credit card, who I'm traveling with, where I'm traveling to. I want to be always very, very careful about my identity, my privacy, my security. And this is where we're seeing how large language models traditional machine learning models are helping us encrypt the data to make sure we have the right guardrails and rules in place, automate our security patching if there is a potential threat, help us identify the security hazards and safety hazards. And last but not the least, the model should have a bias detection and fairness build so that we provide the right and the equal treatment to everybody, irrespective of their demographics, race, gender, and any other aspects. Just like with any other business, it always starts with understanding the objective. What is the business goal we are trying to solve? What is the problem we want to solve? Why we are doing this? Start with the whys, right? Ask questions, right? Don't rush into just pleasing somebody to create a solution, right? It's like creating a flight plan, which is very meticulous, clearly understands this flight is going to go from place A to place B. These are number of people. This is going to be the altitude we're going to fly. This is the time we're going to take. So it's a very detailed understanding of objectives and goals. The continuous monitoring, the regular monitoring needs to be integrated and become part of your processes, right? Data transformation needs to have a continuous, regular, ongoing monitoring. Why is that important? To make sure that we are aligned with the regularly changing requirements of the business. It is same like understanding the in-flight navigation system that is always up and running. We are constantly checking so that our passengers are able to get the best experience when they are in the flight. Right? Frequent testing is important during data transformations because it is acting like as a simulator and helping us find where the gaps are, what are the things we need to tune, what are the parameters on the flight that we can make it better, fine tune. Feedback loop when you are building a data transformation with or without AI, by leveraging AI or by not leveraging AI, having the feedback loop is important to understand what is our customer looking for, what is our business looking for. Did I build the right solution? Or did I spend a lot of time on building something that is not relevant or useful? In the aircraft, is having the regular communication with the air traffic controller to make sure that we are always looking at, we are not having blind spots and making sure if something is wrong, let's take a corrective action that is happening. The aircraft industry is changing heavily. Our data industry is changing heavily. We see a lot of innovation coming every day. Focus on investing in your people. Focus on investing in your talent. Make sure that you are sending your staff to the latest flight school for the latest trainings. Similarly, make sure to spend time on sending your data engineers, your data analysts, data users, and consumers on the latest trend, latest conferences, do prototypes, understand, learn from the experts, attend conferences, ask questions, follow social media, LinkedIn, take opportunities to learn because that's always going to help you improve. To conclude, we have been hearing a lots of fear about AI is going to take my job away. I will be redundant. I'll not be useful. I'm going to lose my job. There is a lot of fear in the society. We can be fearful and then do nothing, or we can embrace and learn and adopt to become better. Think of this like in order for us to land a successful flight, we need both the staff, we need the pilots as well as the machines in this case, aircraft. Similarly, for a successful data transformation, data integration journey, you need both human intelligence and artificial intelligence to keep our customer happy, to keep our CEO happy, and to keep our team happy. Thank you so much for your time today. Please reach out to me for any Q&A, any questions you have. I'm available for any questions and Q&A you may have. Thank you.